Here they are. What do you guys think of the matchup overall?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really uncommon one, so I think the Labyrinth is the slightly more powerful deck if I was going to be choosing, especially when it gets to go first, with a... Is that a card of Demise? It looks like, in the
saw
hand?
it.
But
I saw it as well.
it's not so easy to use, I suppose. You're just going to be setting one and discarding a couple of cards, so...
But also, like, I think Salamangreat is a very explosive deck, and with like cards such as Kill Drain, Trap Trick, you know, the Ice Dragon Prison, which is, you know, huge against Salamangreat deck. I'm really curious to see the deck in action, but here we start things off with the Speedroid Terror Top, and I have good memories of the card as well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely premium card to start with, isn't it? You get 2 level 3s on the field without having to even use your normal summon. It's like Tour Guide, but in a lot of cases even better.
Totally, yeah.
Goblin Biker again?
Exactly.
No, not quite. It's the Mirage Stalio. I'm sure Pirangelo would be a little bit surprised to see this deck.
Let's see if he has any response to the Stalio. It looks as if he's thinking about it. Okay.
I was waiting for bottomless trap hole.
Yeah, you're not wrong, guys. This is Labyrinth indeed, but this has been somewhat common across just touching a couple runic spells, because they act as obviously interruption, even going second. But most importantly, you can summon Yugen to pretty much protect yourself from Lightning Storm or RP's Feather Duster. So that's why they are in the deck.
Yeah, it's a very flexible card all round. You can also occasionally just summon a monster if needs be, or just not being a trap card is sometimes relevant if you're like just to have a different type of card. Sometimes there are cards that deal with trap cards specifically, but not with these.
And here comes the Silent Mining, getting rid of Drone Lockbird with, I mean, against Runic is very good, but I don't think that maybe Matteo understood what is going on at the moment. But maybe he has something else. Okay, I see a Cross-Suck Designator that makes sense. You don't really want to get rid of it, just in case your opponent has any sort of interruption in his hand. And becomes the Lady as well, which is very good normal summon. Yes.
This is one of the things many people said about the Labyrinth deck is if you play Labyrinth, your opponent's non-engine cards will probably be pretty useless against you. We're seeing that Crossout Designator, and we're seeing the Droll Lockbird, both of which just kind of sitting dead in the hand for Matteo. I mean, it gets a little bit of use out of it with Cyanide Mining, but it's not really doing much by itself.
But yeah, we can see Matteo has upgraded his deck with some beautiful rarities. And yeah, the really strong part about Terror Chop, as you mentioned, is now you're still free to play. And I guess Matteo is expecting maybe Runic Stun as a deck right now. That could be an option. So doesn't change too much the way you play around against. But now he has finally revealed he's up against Labyrinth.
This is the point with the trap version of Labyrinth where you feel the most vulnerable, because if you're playing the furniture version, you have a lot more engine pieces, and like one Ash is annoying, but if you're just playing a more heavy trap version and you get hit by an Ash Blossom or something on your first attempt, then it feels like sometimes you can just not have a monster for the whole game and your opponent can just kind of beat you up without really needing to break through your traps significantly.
And here comes the Daruma Cannon, which is huge, because, I mean, the Silent Mining has been activated. If it's not the case and Matteo doesn't hold into a Salamangreat Circle, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, it's quite, you know, it feels like Daruma Cannon is often the last line of defense because it's a really powerful trap card, so you feel like you'd probably want to exhaust all your other ones first. So maybe Matteo kind of knows that, but does that mean he has anything else to do afterwards?
Yeah, especially because like once you commit your normal summon with the Salamangreat deck, it's very difficult to put up on the field something else if you don't have something like, you know, the Foxy or the Spinny. And you can tell that Matteo is just, you know, having a look at his hand. Maybe there will not be the case, but what is this? Oh, maybe the Thrust is the last card we don't know in hand.
Yeah, it looks like a Thrust. Very nice, because the Lady has just activated its effect.
You're right.
But what could he get here? Because what is he really looking for? He has the talent, the one-off.
Yeah, the obvious one is the talent, but it doesn't seem too great.
Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna do. Like, you can take the lady, but you're just gonna have to give it back. You can take the one card from hand, but that doesn't deal with the cards on the field. So maybe just draw 2.
I think you just draw.
What do you think he's looking for in his deck?
Because like even if he draws into a circle, then it doesn't really solve the situation. I mean, I think he's going for drawing 2 cards. Yeah. Ogre
An ogre, yeah.
and a trap card, but
I think roar maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the counter. Kind of a whiff. Yeah. Tough spot. We see that, as mentioned, that cross out, which is hardly gonna have a target for outside of impermanence. Seems like that might be it. Yep. Matteo passes back, and I think Pierangelo is quite happy about how things have turned out. We must keep in mind he doesn't have a battle phase due to the runic.
That's alright, he has a card of demise, so.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to cope with it.
I think that was his last card.
Yeah, that was the one he didn't play the last turn.
Nice. Yeah, doesn't want to activate his card of demise, I guess.
I don't blame him. Like, this is a lot. And yeah, there is no response, of course, so we get another plus. This is brutal. Ice Dragon Prison is an incredible card against a deck like Salamangreat, which both relies on its graveyard, but also is completely focused on, you know, a single type, being Cybers mostly. So
yeah, you're going to get quite a lot of advantage here, getting the extra copy of Welcome. He's going to get to reset that Daruma Cannon, assuming that the lovely resolves.
I think I might want to launch a petition to go this Cannon Labyrinth, because we do have the Equation Cannons and now the Daruma Cannons being played as a free.
I've heard people try and call it Cannon Labyrinth.
Yeah, okay,
that's fair.
that's good. I think that works.
I will have to check if there are other cannons in the Yu-Gi-Oh database. There must be some.
We should just play all of them.
You could play it with the
Delta Soldier Cannon.
But then we need we need some sort of pirate card to just, you know, fill the gap. And yeah,
I'm trying to think of the name of the pirate deck that people play with Vrinix.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean perfectly.
With the Blackbeard.
Yeah. Plunder. Yeah.
Plunder. There we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plunder, Cannon, Labyrinth. That's the deck. That's the goo for the next event. Sorry if we couldn't spoil it before. Rough spot. This is the dream if you're playing the Labyrinth deck. And I mean, it's one of those decks where the first turn is really crucial, but if you're not able to stop it, the advantage it's just ridiculous, because you can probably get a +2 every single turn, both yours and your opponent's. Yeah, not many decks can keep up with that.
Yeah, I saw the Ash Blossom there. It's kind of gutting for Mateo. If we'd had that the turn previous, there would have been no lovely... there would have been no Lady Summon that then wouldn't have been able to set the big Welcome, so there would have been almost cutting off access to the engine of Pierangelo. But yeah, staring down 5 traps and a Lady. And a big Welcome in graveyard to bounce anything you feel like. You can bounce spells and traps as well as monsters.
Matteo really trying to do something here, but
that's a Code of Soul he's just summoned.
Yeah, and the Welcome Labyrinth gets activated from Pierangelo's side.
pretty sure what that does, because I think he's just got lovelies and ladies, but he just needs to maybe clear it out so he can set another trap.
Yeah. You also have the, as you mentioned, the big welcome is still there, so many interruptions from all over.
And here it is. We mentioned this before, the Ice Dragon Prison against the Salamangreat deck is amazing.
Ravage.
No. It's
Yeah, because we did go for the... We're locked, right?
Yeah.
Fiends.
Maybe...
no, it's only Fiends from the extra deck, isn't it?
Um,
Or am I... I think it just stops you summoning from the extra deck. Maybe I'm going mad.
No.
wasn't it?
Yeah, from deck correct. No, also deck, but yeah. You're
yeah.
right.
Well, from the deck or extra deck, right? So, I mean, that Ice Dragon Prison can be activated, I guess, right? Because it's from the graveyard.
Hopefully for Pierangelo, it won't matter too much. Did he just do Balinks into Balinks? Don't you need the field spell in order to do that? Pretty sure you do, right?
For the Billings?
Yeah, it looks like he just went Balinks into Balinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs the...
Yeah, he does.
That's
Yeah.
We're freestyling, Tom.
That's
Come
the
on.
classic Salamangreat.
Yeah, I mean,
Line.
he's old... I mean, yeah.
The field spell's still sat in his hand. Yeah, it doesn't normally need a level 4 or lower Cyberse monster, but the field spell, the Sanctuary, can let you summon any Salamangreat monster by using just a copy of itself as a material. And a lot of the Salamangreat monsters have powerful effects when they are summoned with a copy of themselves already. It's not like one got destroyed, is it, Balinks? It got bounced, so there shouldn't be one in the grave. at the
How
moment.
cannot? That's why he didn't use the field spell, because I think he used the Code of Soul as effect. I guess.
Yeah, that could be it.
You can use one, yeah.
Oh, I see. It gives you an extra Sanctuary kind of effect. It's interesting. It's like a Salamangreat card, but it doesn't have Salamangreat
Yeah.
in the name, see?
I mean, this must have been it. Yeah, I think so.
It's
Yeah.
a hanger-on to the Salamangreat archetype. But here comes the Daruma Cannon. You get to set a Dominus Impulse even, so it's such a powerful trap for the Labyrinth deck. On account of being another trap card to add to the arsenal that can be used from the hand, because it is often quite difficult when you're playing Labyrinth going second, because you just have to let your opponent do whatever they like, but not with Dominus Impulse.
But yeah, I think
Yeah.
he has seen plenty for this game one, and so it's just Pierangelo who sets up an amazing start, and thanks to this die roll, I gotta say, because both were actually having some pretty strong hands with the Terror Chop. Just too many traps to fight back. That's how the deck sometimes just functions.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see. Oftentimes when players, you have a lot of dead cards in your main deck against like a trap deck, for example, and you need to like go through your side deck and think like, okay, I need to take all of these 10 cards out of my main deck or
Yeah.
whatever, but do I have enough cards in my side deck to swap them out for? And sometimes the answer can be no.
I mean, the issue I think with Matteo's deck is that he has a lot of cards for going second for this specific matchup, but he doesn't have really... I mean, he has the Solemn Judgments, but he has to be careful about using them against Labyrinth, because, it will be like just a matter of seconds and then the game could be sealed, because like in general he has the Asper's Fair, the Duster, he has the Evenly Matched, so is there like a scenario in which you could go second in game 2?
I feel like you maybe just have them as an insurance policy in case you get shifted.
Yeah, and just passed.
Yeah, exactly, because it's a Labyrinth deck, so you're almost certainly going to survive the first turn if you just pass with nothing. Because they seem more useful than the hand traps he's got. He's running this kind of fun suite of hand traps that you see sometimes when people run the crossout designator in the main deck, and they run like one of literally everything.
That's basically like the approach, like 2 offs of
Yeah.
basically everything, more or less. And on the other side, Pierangelo, I think that the approach is more or less similar, let's say. I think by going second, he has, you know, the evenly matched as well. There's the Evelyn Prison if going first. I think is a very good card to protect also your set card. And he has the shifter. So
Yeah, it's a card that kind of flips the table, isn't it, from going first to second? It's almost like you just get to start.
especially against Salamangreat, as you mentioned, it's just a matter of, okay, pass back to you and then just, you know, see what happens next, especially because like Labyrinth deck, I mean, is likely not to seal the game, especially because he's not playing any furniture in his main deck. So that will maybe be the case, but I guess we will soon find out as our players have ready with their side deck. So let's just jump into game 2.
You know, one of my favorite things about playing the Cannon is that players really get to express themselves in their extra deck. You know, you go through, you can go through and pick any fusions, any XYZ monsters you feel like from across the game. Just think,
You kind of did.
Like Acid Golem, Leviathan Dragon.
Never saw some of this, but
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you can really find anything among there. You can just pick it up and then can you imagine finding a Seraphima? Crackers. Oh my god. So yeah, it's wild out there. All right, so now we take a look at this Salamangreat and
Got that all-important Ash Blossom, if nothing else.
oof, but we see the shifter right here. But the Call by the Grave, what a start. All right, all right.
I'll take that.
And again.
Wow.
All right, all right. I see you, Matteo.
Yeah, that's a really premium start with the Call by the Grave and the ideal starter card.
That is why you should upgrade your rarities. Just open up that Terror Drop.
You open up them more often.
Absolutely, science.
Yeah,
Science has proven it.
Hear it first.
Got to have the common or rare Takatomborg and Quarter Century Terror Top.
I mean, no matter how Takatomborg you were playing, you were always saying that one, you know.
Okay, so there is a chance that this is uninterrupted right here, and yeah, that could be the case. You don't really expect many Antraps in the Labyrinth deck, I guess, but
Yeah, there's those possibly infinite impermanence, but definitely Dominus Impulse. But I feel like if you have Dominus Impulse here, it's always hitting the Mirage Staliers, so I think that might be a clear green light for Matteo to do whatever he feels like.
And very good opening from Matteo, honestly. I mean, like, you can ask for more, and the call by on the shifter, we were mentioning this before,
Yeah, I
how
mean,
impactful it would have been. And
he saw the shifter and he was like, now, and he activated that call by to negate it straight up.
It's like just for the shifter as well. There's like no other card that the call by actually
Yeah, absolutely.
actually hits. But I guess you need it because shifter's so important.
You do.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past someone to be side decking Fuvalos in their Labyrinth deck or in basically anything, so might hit that too. Salamangreat, it's already locked into fire, I think, with the Salamangreat of fire, so no issue making use of the princess there.
activates the Sanctuary and Cannibalismo.
A lot more value than it used to be, where you just put one Link 2 over a Link 2. Now you get a Link 4 over a Link 4 and get to search your deck for any Salamangreat card, is that right?
Make Salamangreat again.
Again, that Salamangreat Roar.
Yep.
Oh, and the Weasel gets to give him the...
Yeah, that's the great interaction here where you actually can use the Princess right away. And kind of unique interaction to the Salamangreat deck.
So does he want to use the Princess now? I'm a bit confused by the chain links. I feel like there's quite a lot going on. Or maybe he's just resolving the...
I'll let Matteo take
Yeah.
the
Take the
ride.
wheel.
Yeah, take the wheel.
Get that free Salamangreat Roar.
I mean, very good start here from Matteo because he has the
Or the
permanents, he
Wii.
has the Aurora, he has the Ash. I mean,
Yeah, do you think he's going to use the Princess? It'd be a bit weird, though, because he's already used the summon
yeah,
from
yeah.
Grave. But he could bring back his other
He is?
big Salamangreat.
Yeah, because it works well with the Phoenix usually, but I mean, depends on the type of setup. I think that's what he's discussing, I guess. Yeah, he does.
I guess like he can just bring back the Phoenix. So
Yeah,
it's,
this is
with
what's,
its own
what's
effect.
going on, exactly.
And it's just got bigger. Does it have any benefit, the fact that it was Link Summon using itself after it's searched a card already? Or because now it's just a sort of unlink summoned version?
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think you can still use the Raw and you can still... Yeah.
Oh, he's actually thinking about, yeah, giving those up for another wolf.
This is a proper like link climbing...
Or down climbing,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
a bit
So-
risky though, right?
Yeah, maybe he just wanted the Princess in the grave again, but that seems like an odd thing to want against Labyrinth, where they're probably not going to summon any monsters.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you do get into this autopilot mode, I would say. But you really have to adjust to whatever deck you're facing. And I do agree that maybe should have thought about that slightly more.
Ooh, battle phase been declared. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Roar.
Yeah, we need a second copy. And it's not even that great, is it?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
Ash is just like easily the most powerful card against the Labyrinth deck.
Absolutely. And I mean, in Salamangreat, it's even better because you just get, if you have access to the first Ash, you just get one back every turn. So
Yeah, you don't really like the idea of somebody looping Ash Blossoms against me.
absolutely, especially if you're playing Labyrinth. Because now we are back to 5 cards in hand, and yeah, Lady Debug coming down. This seems
Yeah, you get so much
good.
here.
this way is cutting off this recycling Ash.
For this turn at
Option.
least, yeah.
Yeah.
He's already, I mean, the Wolf has already picked up a Gazelle, so giving him good follow-up, as is.
Yeah, Ragazal.
He might be out of Wolves, to be honest. I'm not sure how many you'd play at this point in time, but this is the second
could be,
copy.
yeah. How many does he play? Let me check.
Code is back.
Dos.
Yeah, we have added back the code, and I think, yeah, we're gonna use it right away. It seems.
I'm a bit confused about his first turn, really. He left up with... I feel like he just ended with a... I mean, he drew a card and then ended with like a Sunlight Wolf and a Roar.
The OG combo.
Yeah, I guess so. Bringing us back. I mean, he didn't used to draw a card, so maybe that's the that's the
I
difference.
Absolutely.
See, right? Is it Heat Soul is a fire, right? But maybe I suppose everything else has to be fire, so you're not going to be able to summon it very easily.
Yeah, I mean, most importantly is like, if you end on it, so you want to end on a Salamangreat next to it as well, 'cause for the roars, I guess. Yep, now he's gonna use the effect, so gets this additional field spell, I guess. And here comes a pretty good one against Labyrinth. Gonna be able to destroy a card and draw one if uninterrupted. So, are you surprised that the Mourner is still in there? I guess doesn't have enough to side out.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, got rid of the Daruma Cannon, which...
Yeah, you can't activate it unless unless there's at least one monster to set.
That can go.
So.
Oh, draw into the deck lockdown.
Yeah,
surely you've got more
but
things
you could have
to
used it first.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, you could have used it earlier.
I guess.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe he's got another one.
Of course, we've mentioned it. It's the Cannon Labyrinth.
Maybe you just only leave Link monsters on the field. You play around the equation cannon for the whole
Fair
game.
enough. And now we again continue. He's been debating it. Yeah. He's only playing the one, right? Or
Well, no, it looks like there's two Pyro
two.
Phoenix.
okay,
Good.
that's good. The space is a big issue for this deck again.
I mean,
yeah.
I agree. He's like rocketing through the extra deck at this point.
Yeah, and the thing is that due to the nature of the deck, you want to play multiples of cards, even though maybe they're subpar in a way. Or like you get the effect only if you play 2 of them, and then that cuts on a lot. Like back in the day, this deck going second was easily OTK due to, you know, Transcode Talker and then Access Code. But nowadays, it's really tough to find space for that kind of thing. And yeah. I'm sure that if you play a deck like this, you're gonna regret some of these decisions throughout 12 rounds at a tournament.
Yeah, his extra deck's already looking quite light.
It's down to 7 or something like that. There comes a Spinny, and now we flip this welcome, but we know the Ash is there. Brutal. And I see a deck lockdown as well. Wow. I guess, yeah, it does make sense.
I think it's just another one of those cards you think might be better than Draw Lockbird or something.
I mean, for against Labyrinth for sure. But yeah. Okay, here comes Stalio. Didn't get to resolve it in game 1. Is it gonna go through? Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna.
But let me check something.
Twice in game 2, right? He already used it on the first turn. Here comes the Weasel.
Yeah, the doubt is, was that the card that he sent back to the extra deck with
Yeah,
Wolf?
yeah, he did.
Because then, yeah, he...
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure what happens
yeah,
to the
I think that's what they are discussing. Because I'm pretty sure you couldn't... I don't remember if you could summon it but not use the effect. Let me check real quick. Because it was something along those lines. No, you cannot actually just summon it at all.
Is it? Can't be something.
I don't know.
Is it if you
I guess
return
it's
it to
just
the
if you
hand?
return it to the end. Yeah, because it sets with the added monster name, so I guess maybe that doesn't work then. Yeah, definitely a niche interaction, but seems like the judges ruled it that you can indeed go for it. Regardless, as you can see, it didn't really matter because Pierangelo picks up his cards and we are going to game 3. Yeah, I mean, absolute powerhouse start from both in the respective going first duels. And I guess there wasn't really a window of opportunity. The Ash, as we've mentioned, is the #1 enemy for the Labyrinth deck. It has always been, and it will always be, most likely. So yeah, that's just as easy as that.
Well, one thing that would scare me taking Labyrinth now is Ash has got a new friend, which is Dominus Impulse as well. Another card that can just do the same thing. Arguably even, well, yeah, it can just negate everything, right? So.
Yeah, and I also feel like that now entering into this game 3, I mean, there are a lot of cards that Pierangelo can play, like the Solemn Judgment, the Lord of the Heavenly Prison. 15 minutes remaining. I mean, maybe this Pocket Dog could come in. What do you think, Tom? Like, I mean, we're almost there. Like it may take some time for Salamangreat to go through his combo, right? So why not?
Yeah, I feel like maybe with Labyrinth you want the games to be a little shorter than that, especially if you're going first. Like I think if you're going second, it might be a consideration, but you never know. Like it's always possible.
And
On the other hand, though, yeah, we do have the usual suspects in a way. Not really a deck that is tailored for going second against Labyrinth. He did get a chance to resolve the Thrust in game 1, so maybe that would be the priority, because in the side deck he has some premium targets like the Feather Duster, but I'm sure his opponent is aware of the possibility, so I mean, you don't really have that many effects that you're likely to use, so...
Yeah, I was thinking like it's a downside because of trying to use Thrust into your Lightning Storm is, you know, against Labyrinth, when are they going to use a monster effect? And if they have used a monster effect, it probably means they've already used like 3 spells or traps already, so the Thrust is not necessarily going to be so helpful.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens next. And I mean, starting things off with the Lord of the Evil Prison honestly would be huge for a deck like this. And I mean, like I think it was very well played by both of our players, and I think they showed us how these decks are still very powerful. And it's just a matter of how here you want to side deck. And I think Matteo has more card that he should side out, but maybe doesn't have enough space. Maybe if he's gonna win, we will ask him.
Definitely can be a bit of a rough time, but sometimes you have these matches where the player going first, just due to the nature of the decks, just tends to be favored. And we'll see whether that is the case or if we have a comeback from Matteo. Regardless, our duelists are almost ready, so let's find out who will be the winner of Game 3. Here they are. Bit of a crowd has gathered to watch this duel. And we see a Purulia. All right.
I don't think that's going to get him very far this game.
What did he pick? The Solemn. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want your opponent to like just pick that Solemn straight away without thinking about it. That means they have everything else they need. If they're picking up a Solemn, it feels
we
like.
We have the Heavenly...
Is it 4? Is it 5?
We're gonna set a lot. I see a monster. No, we only set 3, so we didn't set a trap. Might be a second copy of something, but...
I think I see a Lady and an Impulse.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess this Purulia... Oh, but isn't that a Feather Duster?
Yeah, he has it.
I see it. And we are starting with something else.
I think he just knows it trades with the Judgment, so if he plays it first,
it's
never going to do anything.
Well,
it's a card that destroys your opponent's face-down card and then deals 4,000 damage is not a bad card.
Absolutely. I'd say it's a better cost me cycle. But
don't tell Leo.
No, I won't. But yeah, as mentioned, we get rid of this talent, which is not really the greatest. It's probably kept, as Alberto mentioned, because we cannot really side out many cards.
I feel like I would have just kept the Purulia in hand, to be honest.
Yeah, especially if we had the Sign and Mining. But no, in the end, we do use the halving life point cards, we could say. And I mean, Tenpai can deal 16,000. Sure, we cannot deal just 4,000?
You can deal 1 or 2, I reckon. Is that a Thrust as well? Yeah, his non-engine is lining up.
I mean, I'm pretty sure against any deck this end could work out, but maybe, just maybe, Labyrinth could be the one that wins against such an opener.
Yeah, it's almost got covers for everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, Feather Duster, Talent, Trust, and free engine card. Purulia as well, yeah. This end is a dream. But maybe if there is a deck, that could be this one. The card that shows was again code, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And no way we negate this, right? Yeah, exactly.
we'll just have to see what the remaining cards are for Perangelo. Do you need to have activated a normal trap to summon the Lady Labyrinth, or just any trap? Can you do it after a Solemn Judgment?
I thought it was any
Normal trap.
normal.
card.
Perfect.
Yes.
So he's going to have to wait a minute.
Yeah, that's the difference with the Heavenly Prison. Seems like Pierangelo is debating a little bit here whether he wants to interact. No.
I feel like Impulse would have just ended the turn there, because I don't know how he'd get a Salamangrating Grave. I suppose he'd have to use the Sanctuary on Balinx. So we don't think he can do that, right? Just summon the Lady.
This is also pretty good at ending turns, but yeah, I guess you're right then, because let me check on that. I mean, Alberto checked.
Yeah, he's just been informed to put it back in the hand.
Perfect.
I can
And
still
actually-
read. I can still read. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting worried out there.
It's actually going to work out really well for Pierangelo there, because I think the last card is Thrust. So it's just
Oh
going to...
yeah, is it?
I think that's what I'm looking at, so...
Yeah.
Matteo's like, no, you summon it. You can use the effect if you want to. But now there's just no reason he'd use it till the end phase.
Yeah, a bit of an odd sequencing, of course, because as you have mentioned, we could have used the Impulse earlier, while now we are gonna use the Solemn Strike on this Gazelle. Wow.
Playing very fast and loose with his life points.
And yeah, unfortunately, you were right. The last card is Thrust, but no, he's not gonna try to use it.
He's definitely trying to use it.
No. Whoa.
He activated it, he just had to put it back.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah,
Both players just showing each other a card from their hand.
that's
There's
great
still-
fair play from our Italian players. Full knowledge.
Pierangelo, if he wasn't before, definitely going to hold that
Wow.
Lady until the end phase now.
Yeah. This is not looking great for Matteo, especially now that, as you've mentioned, he knows about it. He's not really going to be interested in doing anything, and we get a Cosmic, which is all right, but we need a really solid top deck next turn.
Yeah, he's got a couple of turns.
You even set.
I'm feeling what you're feeling with that Cosmic. That did feel suspicious. Because you're not going to do anything now, right? Maybe he just really wanted to prompt a Labyrinth trap to be activated.
And the card of the mice. Yes.
Oof. That's a decent top deck.
Oh, it's been so long since I've used Card of Demise. I wouldn't even know the can you attack first, or do you have to skip your battle phase? Okay, he just attacked afterwards, and you definitely don't take any damage afterwards, right?
Battle phase?
You just skip it, right? Or you take no
I
damage?
don't remember anything about battle phase. I just remember that you cannot special. Was
If
there
you just
really a
remember
battle phase
that
effect as
there
well?
No, they take no
They
damage.
take no damage. Yes.
Yeah, so he should have attacked first, right?
Yeah.
We are again, Tom, I already told you, we are just freestyling in this one. Just... Alright, but unfortunately, although the emotions were through the roof, it seems as if, and you can tell by Matteo's stance as well, he knows this one might be over, as he's gonna get his face down destroyed by Lovely, and then we're gonna still be able to special summon the Lady in the end phase. This is plenty of advantage to seal this one out. Maybe not quite this turn, but
Yeah, it feels like way too much, right? Because you're going to get a new trap back. You can bounce one of your monsters and then get an extra pop with Lovely, so you can take an extra card out the hand.
yeah.
And here comes the
And
welcome.
here-
with the welcome, it's all over. It's gonna be Pierangelo taking this one and moving on with a very solid score. But yeah, just moments away. And there it is. That's the fist bump. Woo. Big cheering from the crowd. Yeah, definitely an interesting match. I can tell you that much. Yeah, as we've mentioned, we had two decks that we have yet not seen before today, facing off against each other. In the end, although it was, you know, really back and forth one, the player going first just kept on having too much advantage in this one, and Feather Duster was picked up, but that duality got him the answer for it.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say the Labyrinth deck has, you know, got a lot of answers. So it's not just like he had that one Solemn Judgment. He's running those Runic cards. He's running the Lord of the Heavenly Prison. So he's got like, you know, almost 8 or 9 ways maybe to deal with a Feather Duster or a Lightning Storm. The thing that really stood out to me about that game was just how well the Labyrinth deck gives you this advantage against the non-engine, because you see all these cards that were just useless. It was like, you know, one player was playing with like 3 or 4 cards per game rather than 6.
Yeah. And in such a format, I would say that playing a deck like Labyrinth, I think, always pays off, right? Because like at least there are 15 to 18 end traps in every single deck. You just sit at the table, and this is something I would do, honestly. Like I love the deck, and I think also Pierangelo loves it, and lovely end for him, honestly. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, it's still a deck that can, you know, be built and played in a lot of different ways. As you have mentioned, we see more of decks relying on the Labyrinth engine and then playing multiple monsters. But sometimes this version does work out. It's one that also, you know, Dinka Bui back in the day was really successful with. And yeah, I do really like, as we've seen in game 1, the inclusion of these 3 runic spells. I think they make a lot of sense. They are just very efficient at dealing with the most problematic card out there, and as well they give you a way to fight back when you're going second, which is definitely an issue for this type of deck. But I don't know. I think when you're expecting, as we've mentioned, Tenpai being in the most represented decks and Mulcharmies being everywhere, I think Labyrinth remains a solid pick.
Yeah, it's really hard to say no to that. And as you say, like having those runic spells adds that layer against Tenpai, because I think against Tenpai it's probably pretty scary to play against a deck where you know almost they're going to be running those 2 Lightning Storms and the Feather Duster. But yeah, maybe you feel much more confident with those runic spells in your back pocket.
Yeah, and also I feel like that, like the more you go into the tournament, and I think the more your opponent don't want to play against you, right? Because you know, I think it's one of those decks that is very scary, especially because like. Yeah, so many different interruptions, and I feel like the Daruma Cannon alone like does so much in this current format. And honestly, I really see like Pierangelo in a good position. 3 rounds remaining for the rest of the day to advance into day 2, and sitting with a 5-1 record, honestly, is already impressive. So only 1 loss for him, and almost there. Like I think he has to win at least 2 other matches to advance to tomorrow. So
yeah. It's definitely tough. We have a lot of players this weekend, so making it to the top cut will not be an easy task. But yeah, Pierangelo has the advantage. I agree with you. Trap Trick is actually one of my favorite cards of all time, just because it allows you to, you know, play with and have additional copies of really niche cards. And when you play a deck like this, where you have your own built Trap Trick outside of running the card potentially in Lady, it's nice because you can play a lot of 2-offs or even 1-offs, and then for example Epidemic Virus, as we have seen again in the past, you just play against these random decks, maybe a runic deck, and then you cut them off guard. And I think it's very unique to the Labyrinth deck, this format, so I'm down for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, Trap Trick, definitely a card that we would like to see, and maybe we'll be told about it in our player interview with Leo.
Not quite a player interview, however, it is an analysis here. We have quite of a language barrier in this situation, so I'm just going to do this alone. Pierangelo beat Matteo. It was Labyrinth versus Salamangreat, 2 of my favorite decks, coincidentally. And as you guys all probably know by now, Salamangreat is my absolute favorite, but the deck has some issues. So I think we should go into the first clip already, because there's a big showcase on what the problem of the deck can be. So you're seeing the Daruma Karma Cannon. Salamangreat is a deck that can easily be stopped by just one interruption on the first normal summon we have seen earlier. Of course, Matteo was trying to fix that issue with the Speedroid engine. Yeah? So you're going into the Mirage Stalio first and you're trying to combo off there, but that one was popped immediately. There was no Bailings in the graveyard just yet, and therefore perfect solution for this situation. And then after the Lady Debug, there was just a quick Daruma Karma Cannon turn basically over. And yeah, so the next highlight that we're going to have is basically, I think, another cannon, because Matteo survived the turn. You know, Pierangelo is playing Labyrinth, so he's not about OTKing all that much. However, as soon as Matteo tried to start playing again, got the Salamangreat Gazelle finally onto the field, there was going to be another cannon. So we're just sitting there on the side of Pierangelo. Look at this. The resources that the deck can build up are absolutely incredible. 4 set cards, has a lovely and has the Lady of Labyrinth on the field and doesn't even care about them. Just goes for the Daruma Karma Cannon instantly and therefore gets the W. Matteo couldn't play on from that point on. The deck only has that many extenders and therefore it was Pierangelo's. In the next game, Pierangelo tried to go for a different route. Of course, it was going second. That is not the strong suit of the deck. But there was Dimension Shifter, which is a card that you can include now when you're not including the furniture pieces. But called by the grave. Ring, ring. We banished the Dimension Shifter. And it was just Matteo's turn to pop off. The combo was very, very interesting because he basically just ended on the good old combo of Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf with a raw setup, and that was due to the fact that he only started with Speedroid Terrortop. If you don't have another monster that you can normal summon next to this, you can't really go into the Horse Prince route. But after all that, we got into our turn 3, got into the Pyro Phoenix. There you could see that he's in fact running the Pyro Phoenix combo line, and Ash blossomed the Labyrinth. The strongest part about that deck versus the Labyrinth matchup is not only that you can basically Harpy's Feather Duster them with your engine at the end of their turn basically, but you can also search in Ash Blossom. There is a combo route where you're going to start with a Lady Debug and a Gazelle, and you're searching for the Code of Souls so that you don't have to summon it out with the Horse Prince. And if you do that, you can use the Horse Prince still to special summon out Ash Blossom, link that one off, summon the Sunlight Wolf and add back the Ash Blossom, so you take away any possible play that the Labyrinth deck can have versus you. But we're going to continue with the highlights because I think there's either one more from game 2, which Matteo won with the Salamangreat strategy. Yep, there we are. We're going to see this going second, also very, very strong to go with the Pyro Phoenix. There was only one set card left. He played through everything before he summoned the big Raigeki and Feather Duster combo monster. But yeah, Pierangelo just said, yeah, no, I'm not having any of this. I'm quitting this game. And game 3. Game 3, I want to say it came down to the wire a little because this was really, really intense. Let's look at the clips. There were big moments in that game because there was a classic Labyrinth start. You know, you set 3 cards, keep a few cards in hand. Harpy's Feather Duster, Solemn Judgment. No, I get to keep 2 of the set cards. Going down to 4,000 life points immediately. There was some, I want to say, Salamangreat slander from our casters who said, hey, Tenpai Dragon as a fire deck can deal 30,000 damage in one turn. What can Salamangreat do? Can it maybe do 4,000? Yes, it can do 4,000. Not in that situation, though, because, yeah, there were plenty of more cards. We have seen that there was a little bit of a confusion scenario with the Lady Labyrinth, and, of course, the Daruma Karma Cannon was a little bit of a wrong order there. However, the Daruma Karma Cannon still basically almost ended that turn. And let's go into the last clip of that matchup. The game state was pretty much neutral, but there it was. Card of Demise, a card that we haven't seen in ages. 2000, I want to say 17 was the last time when you played it in Paleo. Of course, True Draco, also a deck that loved to play that card. But it was dug up again by our Labyrinth player here. Pierangelo deserved win here against the Salamangreats of Matteo. That just goes to show how flexible Labyrinth is with certain cards that they can include into the deck if they want to. There is basically multiple cannons now that you can run. You can run all the card draw that you want, but most of the cards, they just have to be purple in your deck, and then you're going to be able to be a powerhouse of a player. But that's it for me, and I'm going to give it over to Ed Templar.